That's it. Alright, in this video I'm going to be adjusting my cushion valve on my AGT QH12R 1-ton mini excavator. I left myself a note at the end of the last digging season to adjust each adjustment screw out a half turn. I have my cushion valve hidden back there right between the battery and kind of the main structure of the machine, somewhat next to or underneath of the directional control valve. It's just tucked away in there real nice. It's protected pretty well right there. I haven't had any issues with rocks or debris hitting it. I will say that I had this thing adjusted where I wanted it, and I feel like it changed. Now, it could all be in my head, but I feel like the adjustment of the cushion valve changed over the course of the summer, because I had it adjusted exactly where I wanted it to be, and this thing came to nice, slow, gentle stops. But it was also adjusted tight enough that this thing didn't just spin on its own. It wasn't out of control or anything. It was perfect. And I have no idea if maybe I didn't tighten down the nuts that are supposed to kind of lock the adjustments in so they can't move. Maybe I made a mistake with those nuts and didn't tighten them enough, or maybe they shook loose. I have no idea. But I will say I used this machine a lot over the last summer. I dug a ton with it, and it actually started shaking my homemade floor apart. I lost a bolt right there, and right there. This is a 3-piece floor that I made, my own design. I lost 3 bolts, so right now I only have 1 bolt over there and 1 bolt right here holding this portion of my floor on. So it obviously experienced a lot of vibration over the last summer. But anyway, my floor is pretty easy to take apart, so if I have to keep adjusting the cushion valve, I can. But I think for now I'm just going to back it out a half turn on each. And I guess I'll have to wait until spring or summertime to see if it helped. And if I have it too loose, I can always repeat the process you're about to see, and I can turn each screw in, maybe a quarter turn each. You kind of got to just keep playing with it until you get it where you want it. But this time I have to double check and make sure I tighten down those nuts enough that the adjustments can't change due to vibration. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm doing here, and let's get to it. Maybe this time I should use lock nuts. It's probably why I lost 3 bolts over the summer. These are just 1/2-inch bolts. So yes, this machine has a mixture of metric and standard, or SAE, I guess. Standard to me, at least. See how easy that is? I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's a pretty sweet design. It's a lot better than this floor that used to be in this thing. It's metric. 13. Okay. Ooh. There's a little bit of dirt there. That's funny. That is one downside to my floor design, is that you get a lot of dirt in there, but oh well. This here, this is paper towel. That I used in there to kind of cushion the battery up against this strap, and it's so flattened and frozen that it looks like styrofoam, but it's a paper towel. That's pretty funny, actually. All right, hopefully you can see. Oh yeah, I forgot I zip tied this, so I'll have to re-zip tie this. Okay, it's probably gonna be hard to move here because it's so cold out. This is technically like a cap. That's 13. Now let's see. That nut seems like it's plenty tight, and there's no reason that this should have moved at all from vibration. So I don't know about that. I'm thinking 4 or 5. 5 mil? No, probably 4. Yep. Yeah, 4 millimeter. Okay. I'm gonna show you here what I'm doing. Remember I said out a half a turn. Okay. I don't want this to move. I just want to loosen this just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now I need to go out 180 degrees. That's it. When you loosen this outwards, you're allowing it to spin easier, and then when you screw that inwards or clockwise, you're tightening it, and that way it stops faster, or eventually instantly if you get it tight enough. So I'll hold that. I'm gonna do this pretty tight. All right, that's good enough. Okay, put this copper washer back on and the cap. And I'm gonna grab another 13 millimeter. I want to tighten this cap down, but in the process of tightening the cap down, it should move because that nut's on there tight enough, but I still want to hold that nut so when I'm tightening this cap down, I don't accidentally spin anything. Which, you know, it shouldn't. I'm just trying stuff here. That's nice and tight. Perfect. That's fine. Okay, now, same thing down here. Hopefully you can see this. Alright. Okay, now this nut's tight too, so in theory this thing shouldn't have fallen out of adjustment on its own. Now I need to hold this steady. I'm going to loosen that nut. Okay. I need to go out half a turn, which means counterclockwise. Counterclockwise, 180 degrees. That's it. Okay, tighten that down. And I want to hold that. I'm going to turn this nut clockwise to tighten it, but I don't want to spin the threaded part that adjusts the cushion valve. So, all right, that's good enough. Copper washer. So now I'm gonna make myself a note on my calendar, so probably sometime in late April or early May, I'll have a reminder that will say if the cushion valve is too loose, tighten it a quarter each. which I don't think a half a turn is going to make it too loose. I think it'll probably fix the issue, but just in case. Same thing now. I'm going to hold this and then tighten that cap. That's it. Now, go get some zip ties. I'm going to put this back. Got a nice heavy duty long zip tie, and I just need to go in between each of these hoses. That way the zip tie can't fall out or off, I guess. It doesn't have to be crazy tight. I just don't want this thing moving too much, at least. So now the way I got it, now the way I have this, it can't go forward or backward. It could technically go up, but it's not going to, and it can't go down just because of what I put it through. So I'm gonna cut this with my little snips. Cut this really close, that way I don't cut myself on this. Can't even feel it. I recommend these. They're like $3 or $4 a piece at Harbor Freight. Okay, so that's it. Because I'm gonna keep the battery inside over the winter, I'm gonna have to take all this apart to get the battery back in anyway. So I'm just gonna kind of stick the floor back in somewhat. But I will make sure that I get lock nuts on these. That way these don't come loose next season. Just enough to hold this floor in. So it's that easy. It's not difficult at all to adjust these cushion valves. Obviously, you know, the easier it is to get your cushion valve, the nicer, in case you have to keep adjusting it. Or if you do have stock sheet metal and a stock floor, and then you have the rollover bar that comes down and connects right here to your floor, obviously it's more difficult to get to your cushion valve. And I guess if you have it all torn apart, you'd want to adjust your cushion valve, turn this thing on, test it, and keep adjusting it. But technically that's what I did the last time that I adjusted this cushion valve, and like I said, it changed. I don't know why it changed, but it did. So hopefully when I go to start this thing up and run it next, which will probably be in the spring, hopefully this thing comes to a more gradual stop than it was doing the last time I ran this. But yeah, that's the thing about these machines. You gotta continuously adjust them, and that's just kind of the way it is. Yeah, in the springtime I'll have to fix up my floor a little bit. My floor is so wonky that it's under tension, so as you can see, that hole doesn't even line up properly. So I'm thinking maybe in the springtime here I'm gonna fix that. That way I can take my floor in and out easier, and I don't have to use a big pipe wrench to bend this enough to get a bolt in there. I'm really surprised that bolt came out, because this thing's under a ton of tension. So that's how bad these things vibrate when you dig with them all summer. But I gotta put bolts and nuts up there as well. And this thing here, all last summer, when this middle part of the floor was loose, when it was vibrating, this thing would whack the floor and make that noise. It was really annoying, and I can't believe I never one time stuck a different bolt in there just to shut it up. So I guess you can't really hear it over the sound of this thing with ear protection on anyway. But okay, well, I just wanted to show that. Of course, if anyone's interested, in this, I will have a link to that cushion valve by itself. You can also get the kit that has the fittings and the hoses and the cushion valve from the Garage Connection or from Central Digger Supply. I'll have a link for that too. Otherwise, you can buy the cushion valve by itself on Amazon. And if you want to source your own fittings and your own hoses, whether you buy them as a kit from somebody or you just find your own hoses and adapters and everything, you can do that as well. You can actually buy just standard hydraulic hoses that are relatively cheap from Tractor Supply or pretty much a normal farm store. And you can get fittings that will go from, say, NPT to DIN Light, because a few of these fittings are going to have to be DIN. And then, of course, the cushion valve itself has NPT ports on it, so you can kind of do a bunch of different things there. But luckily for me, I just got the hose kit from Central Digger Supply, and it's been great. So, all right, well, I think that's it for now. It's freezing cold, so I'm going to close up shop. But like always, if you haven't already, please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.